I've been reflecting some more on Muhammad's behaviour at the Battle of Uhud. If you missed that video last week where we spoke about this, the Battle of Uhud took place in 625 AD, and it was between the Muslims and the Meccans. Now, at first, the Muslims thought they had the upper hand, they thought they were in control, and they were forcing the Meccans into a retreat. However, they started celebrating too soon, they started looting the Meccans' camp, thinking it was all over, they dropped their guard, and that allowed the Meccans to launch a counteroffensive which pinned the Muslims down. Now at that point, the Hadith records Muhammad's reaction and behaviour. It says, "When the enemy advanced towards Muhammad and overwhelmed him, he said, 'Whoso turns him away from us will attain paradise or will be my companion in paradise.' A man came forward and fought the enemy until he was killed. The enemy advanced and overwhelmed him again, and he repeated the words, 'Whoso turns him away from us will attain paradise, or will be my companion in paradise.' A man came forward and fought until he was killed. This state continued until 7 men were killed, one after the other." So essentially, the Muslims are hunkered down. And instead of having the courage to lead his men from the front, he keeps calling for others to sacrifice themselves on his behalf so that he doesn't have to face them personally. Go on, guys, I need somebody to go out there and protect me, essentially. As I mentioned in the last video, he was essentially doing the Lord Farquaad meme from Shrek.
For any reason the winner is unsuccessful, the first runner-up will take his place, and so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
I need people to go out there and fight so that I don't have to. Yes, you may die, but that's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. Noble Muhammad. Something I just noticed is there were only 9 of them to begin with here, so he sacrifices almost all of them one after the other. Basically, anyone who's not in his tribe, he sacrifices all of them. Now, what I've been reflecting on this past week, though, is the way that Muhammad instinctively turns to bribery here to get his way and to manipulate the situation. He promises them that if they'll go out there and die, they will get some kind of reward in paradise for doing it. So you can imagine the conversation as they're kind of hunkered down behind their rock, peering out at the enemy, backs against the wall. Muhammad's trying to figure out what to do and he's racking his brains. How do I get myself out of this situation? I need somebody to go out there and to face the enemy and to try and deal with the situation because I don't want to. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to die. The Muslims are kind of looking at each other going, well, we don't really want to go out there either, Muhammad. You say you don't want to die, but we don't really want to die either. So we're a bit of a stalemate here. So Muhammad thinks to himself, how do I manipulate this situation to get them to do what I want them to do? Right, guys, I've got it. How about this? If you die out there, you'll get instant access to paradise. Free ticket, boom, straight to paradise. That sounds pretty good, right? One of them says, I don't know, Muhammad. I kind of thought we were going to go to paradise anyway because we're Muslims. Thought that's how this all worked. I mean, what are we even doing here? Muhammad thinks, oh yeah. But what I didn't say was, if you die out there, then you'll get to hang out with me in paradise. VIP pass, baby. You'll be with the in crowd. You'll get to be my companion. I'll be the top guy there. You'll get to hang out with me. Now, one of the Muslims quite likes the sound of this. So he goes out and he gets an arrow through him. Dead, gone. The rest of them are looking out. Oh, that did not go well. Anyway, right. Who's next? We need somebody else to go out there and have a go. Now, the remaining guys are looking at each other and they're looking at their dead compatriot out there and thinking, well, we don't want that to happen to us. So Muhammad realizes he's got to step it up a level. And he says, right, guys, I've got it. Whoever goes out there, you'll get a palace in paradise. Now, the Muslims start murmuring around this. That sounds pretty good. A palace. How big's this palace, Muhammad? Big palace, big one. The biggest palace you've ever seen, right in the middle of paradise. Now, one of them quite likes the sound of this palace. So he goes out, dead, gone, gets killed instantly. Right. Who's next? This is not going well. Who's next? None of them are really keen. So Muhammad has to step it up again. And he thinks about it, how to bribe them. Okay, guys, I've got it. Here's the big one. If you go out and die out there, you'll get tons of women in paradise. Women. Women, you say, Muhammad? What kind of women? Like, good ones. Oh, for sure, good ones. Actually, virgins. Virgins, actually. How many virgins? 8? The guy's like, I've already got 8 wives at home because I'm a Muslim. I kind of thought I'd get more in paradise. Muhammad says, oh, no, what I meant was 72. 72 virgins. The guy's like, I don't know, Muhammad. It sounds like you're just making all this stuff up off the top of your head because you're trying to bribe us to go out there and die because you don't really want to. Sounds like you're just kind of making this stuff up to manipulate us. Muhammad's like, what? Me? No, you guys have heard me talking about the virgins before, right? The 72 virgins. Talk about that all the time. Mahmoud, you've heard me say the thing about the virgins, right? You know the virgin thing. Mahmoud's like, what? What are you talking about, Muhammad? Muhammad looks at Mahmoud. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the virgin thing. I remember now. So when Allah was talking to you about the virgin thing, I think I might have even overheard him. Yeah, so many virgins. Yeah. So another guy goes out there. He gets an arrow through him. Dead. Muhammad's looking out. How about a river of wine? A personal river of wine. How about that in paradise? And so the next guy goes out, and so forth and so forth. You might think I'm being a little bit facetious here, and maybe a little bit, but that picture of Muhammad literally just making stuff up, making up fake rewards off the top of his head to try to manipulate and bribe his followers, suddenly getting convenient messages from Allah to suit whatever he's trying to do or whatever he's trying to get other people to do in that moment is actually very common in the Quran and the Hadith. This is what I was thinking about. For example, the Hadith says, the apostle of Allah sent a military expedition to Autas on the occasion of the Battle of Hunain. They met their enemy and fought with them. They defeated them and took them captives. Some of the companions of the apostle of Allah were reluctant to have relations with the female captives because of their pagan husbands. So Allah the Exalted sent down the Quranic verse, and all married women are forbidden unto you except those captives whom your right hands possess. So they won this battle, the Battle of Hunain, and they rounded up all of these captives. They've got all the women over here and they've got all the surviving men over here. And Muhammad gives the order to rape the captive women. Now, some of the Muslims, to their credit, are a bit reluctant to do this. They say, I don't know, Muhammad, their husbands are right there and that doesn't seem right. And didn't you say that married women are forbidden to us? Muhammad goes, oh yeah, I did say that. You're right. I really want to rape those women. How do I get around this? Okay, wait. Wait, guys. Allah's talking to me. He's talking to me right now. He's saying it's okay to rape these women. So what he said before was, married women are forbidden unto you except these ones. These ones are okay. And he also says that when you take slaves in general, and you will, because you're Muslims, we're all Muslims, we take slaves. So when we do that, we can rape them. So Allah's fine with it. Allah's fine with rape. Go ahead, lads. Now, what's especially interesting is that Aisha, the 6-year-old girl that Muhammad married and had intercourse with when she was just 9 years old, as she got older, she actually called Muhammad out on this behavior. Aisha notices that Muhammad does this, that he keeps on calling down convenient messages from Allah that allows him to do whatever he wants to do or allows him to manipulate situations to his advantage. Aisha notices this and she's not buying it. Muhammad actually had many wives and he kept on committing adultery and sleeping around and raping people. As we just saw, he didn't like his sexual whims to be frustrated. He didn't like to be chastened by any sense of morality. So he would simply change Islamic morality in the moment to suit his desires and whims and to suit the situation. But whenever he copulated with or raped a woman, Aisha was understandably miffed, but Muhammad would always reply, oh, but Allah told me I had to do it. What else could I do? Allah said I had to sleep with her and rape that person. It's not my fault. I'm not to blame. Allah said. I can't argue with Allah. So in the Hadith, Aisha says, I used to look down upon those ladies who had given themselves to Allah's messenger. And I used to say, can a lady give herself to a man? But then Allah revealed, very conveniently, you, Muhammad, can postpone whom you will of them, and you may receive any of them you will, and there is no blame on you if you invite one whose turn you have set aside. So basically, Allah says you can pick and choose from them, any of them you want, you can postpone them, you can receive them, and there is no blame ever on you. Aisha then said to the Prophet very wryly, I feel that your Lord hastens in fulfilling your wishes and desires Muhammad. In other words, Aisha was simply not buying this, that every time Muhammad wanted to do something, especially sexually, Allah would conveniently give him the go-ahead to do it. There was another occasion where Muhammad went to visit his adopted son, but when his wife opened the door, Muhammad became love-struck with her. So he took his adopted son's wife, and he married her instead. Now, because he was afraid that he would be frowned upon, this was not good according to existing norms in that society. He called down a Quranic verse saying that Allah had told him he had to do it, and it was all perfectly fine. This is Quran 33:37. So when you start stacking up all of these incidents, you very clearly begin to see a picture of a man who, instead of being constrained by morality and decency, would simply change the Islamic moral code to suit his own impulses and desires and the situation that he found himself in. If anyone ever said, you can't do that, Muhammad, that's not right, he would conveniently in that moment, oh, I'm hearing from Allah, who would then tell him it was absolutely fine, whether that be rape, adultery, or manipulating his followers to go fight for him, like at the Battle of Uhud. This is very, very clearly just one guy making things up as he goes along so he can manipulate others and indulge his most base desires. This is so clear that this is what he's doing. So added to this list of character traits, we can now add the word charlatan.